Okay, Ozzy. You know what? You may have been voted out last night, but you are the Survivor record holder for the most days ever playing the game. Does that make your elimination a bit easier to swallow?
Not really. I mean, it's nice to have records and all, but, it would have been nicer to have the record of being number one.
Mm-hmm. I think that the person you surpassed to get that record was Boston Rob. Have you talked to him about, hey man, I beat your record. I played longer than you did.
No, because he'd have some smart-ass thing to say about that.
So watching the episode on TV last night, it looks as though, of all people, it was Debbie who threw your name out there, and then she got Sierra and Brad and the rest of them to follow her. Is everyone underestimating Debbie in this game?
No, I don't think people are underestimating her. I think that people are going to get sick of her sooner or later. Her antics have gotten her far in the game, but she's been sort of relying on that a little too heavily. I think it was just such an easy decision for people to make. I don't necessarily blame her for it. I think that it was kind of a good decision on their part to go for me when they did.
Right. When you went into that tribal council, did you have any feeling at all that you might be the one going?
I did. Yeah, I had some inklings. I wish that I'd had a little more time on the beach to scramble around and get people on my side, but when it came down to it, people saw me more as a threat than as an asset, and there's only time will tell if they made the right decision.
Mm-hmm. There's a trend of this season of all of the big physical threats like Tony, Kayla, Malcolm, JT. They were all eliminated super early. Are you, knowing that trend, are you surprised that you made it this far?
I am. I'm really surprised I made it this far, but I count my blessings knowing that they were so quick to go. But again, the reason why they were taken out so early is because my tribe beat them. So, I'm basically the reason why, because I had a lot to do with my tribe winning those challenges. I had everything to do with them being taken out.
Right. I'm looking at it. It looks like your first tribal council was the 5th episode. So, you guys, you just kept dominating all of these immunity challenges. And in your first tribal council, you got out Sandra. So let's talk about Sandra. She's the only 2-time winner. Was that personal? Did you want her to not win a 3rd time, or was it's just strategic because she was, a really huge threat to win?
It really just came down to being a strategic move. Sandra is such a good player. She really has an ability. She's got the gift of gab. She's really personable. She doesn't have, she's not a physical threat, so you figure you can take her out at any time going forward. But at the same time, I had only had a chance to play with her for a couple of days because we had just switched up the tribes. It just was a purely strategic move. We wanted to save Suri, because Suri was potentially on the chopping block on the other side, and she was somebody that was in our alliance. So it seemed like a smarter move to we threw that challenge. We lost that challenge on purpose just so that we could vote Sandra out and save Suri.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Interesting. They didn't show that on TV, did they?
Nope.
It looked like you and Zeke were getting really, really close. And then in last night's episode, you wrote his name down. Can you talk about that decision to vote for Zeke?
My decision to vote to Zeke came because Andrea and Suri found out that Zeke was gunning for Andrea. I don't know how much of I don't really know how much of that Zeke was actually gunning for her, but he just started getting really crazy and getting a little bit unpredictable. So it seemed like at that point, Suri and Andrea, they wanted to vote for Zeke. So, which is funny because Suri didn't even end up voting for Zeke. So they said that that's what they were going to do, and I just went along with it.
Mm-hmm. You were at the infamous tribal council last week when Jeff Varner kind of, stuck his foot in his mouth big time by outing Zeke. What was it like from your perspective? What was going through your head when all of that was going on?
I mean, it was just shock that he wasn't thinking about the potential ramifications of that action.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty obvious that was going to turn into a huge thing, and I don't think it wasn't until he said it that he realized what a huge mistake that was.
Right. What do you think was your biggest game move this season in Game Changers?
Well, I think my biggest game move, was trusting Sarah. I think that that's probably the move that really backfired on me.
Because she let you down at the end.
Yeah, that she basically betrayed me. She swore on her child's life that she wouldn't write my name down and that, we were going to go to the end. So, sometimes you just have to pick people that you can trust, and I thought I could trust her, and, that was the biggest blunder that I made.
After playing in Cook Islands and Micronesia and South Pacific and now this one, do you have a favorite season, or do they all just have their special moments for you?
They all have their special moments. I mean, the first time is always, I always come back to that because everything is so new and everything just is so much bigger and harder and crazier than you would have ever imagined. When you come back second, third time, fourth time, you know what to expect, and not to say that it loses some of the magic, but it's not quite the same. And this last time, I think that, sort of the inverse of that is that because I know what to expect, I really just, I just wanted to enjoy each and every single moment that I was out there. And it really became it was just such a pleasure to play.
Are you thinking about season number 5? Is that a possibility?
I'm not even going to think about it because I don't think that it'll be a possibility, but you never know. I mean, it depends on how much longer Survivor is on for. I wouldn't say no, that's for sure.
Well, Ozzy, it was great to talk to you today. I'm so sorry that you got kicked out. I think a lot of people were rooting for you. Of the 11 people left, who are you personally rooting for? Who do you want to win the $1 million check?
I'm voting for either Suri or Andrea.
Okay. Very cool. Well, have a great day, okay?
You too. Thank you.